Red vs. Blue Season 18, Episode 7, Full Power, Part 1, has officially released, so let me break it down for you. Honestly, there just keeps getting less and less for me to say some of these episodes. This episode is almost 13 minutes of pure action sequence. Also, by the way, I had my wisdom teeth taken out a few days ago, so if I sound weird, that's why. So Shatter Squad alongside Carolina arrive. They first take on more alien fodder, which proves to be little to no resistance whatsoever. And from here on, each character gets pulled into their own battle. Carolina gets matched with Diesel, West goes on to take on his own daughter, while the others pursue Zero. Carolina versus Diesel doesn't hold that much interest for me altogether because I just never quite got attached to him or felt like there was a real rivalry between them. Yes, Diesel is sorta responsible for what happened to Wash, but it never really seemed like Carolina held that much weight with him to begin with. Also, this is like the first time that he's talked. Also, I'm pretty sure they just forgot to get Jen to record any sounds or dialogue for this scene because she is dead silent and does not make a single noise the entire time. West vs. Faze was probably the most intriguing one because I think this season has done the best job at establishing this storyline compared to the others. It doesn't prevent it from being incredibly cheesy, but at the very least, I'm glad it's doing choices that don't annoy me and that I actually like. Like, I love the fact that West never fights back. He defends himself, but when it comes to throwing a punch, he never does. He's essentially allowing her to take out all of her frustrations on him and maybe even kill him. She even throws down her knife and just starts punching him. Ridiculous as it is to physically beat down someone who is in full armor, I like that. It shows that she doesn't actually want to kill him. Now, she's just angry and upset and needs this release. Like, it's there, you know? A lot of choices I'm a fan of and think, yeah, this is exactly where I want to see these characters go and act. But it's all amidst some pretty shaky dialogue and not great acting at times. Listen, despite what I've said about West being my favorite character of the new bunch, his acting has definitely never been the reason. So anytime the characters get really emotional, that's when the lack of acting chops really begins to fail this. Same thing happens with Agent 1 as well, when she's apologizing to Faze for not understanding her because she was too obsessed with herself or whatever. It was like, ooh, this is a little bit out of her acting range. Like, Red vs. Blue has actually been so genius how it knew what it was capable of. Of course, Red vs. Blue has never been about acting, and that's precisely why they never depended on an over-reliance of actual acting. It was always more casual dialogue that mimicked how real banter plays. It was always banking on that natural chemistry the voices behind the characters have. It's why Griff and Simmons haven't really had any super genuinely sad and heartfelt dialogue. Anytime they are sad, it's usually played for laughs. Even when you think about the more emotional arcs like with Church, he didn't get too sad even during it. Bernie's strength always lied within yelling and screaming, which is why Church did that all the time, even during his sadder moments. Very roundabout way of saying, pretty much anyone can be cast in Red vs. Blue and get away with casual dialogue, but don't try to push them into something they can't really pull off. I will say though, East I think is the best actor of the bunch. I have yet to hear her speak and feel like, oh, that sounds very unnatural and wrong, so I think she's doing a good job. I don't know if her and Faze are voiced by the same woman, but if they aren't, they're both doing a pretty good job. Anyway, final side note on this, speaking of East, I did think it was weird that Faze split into two again and East didn't do anything. She worked alongside Faze to fight West, but never spoke or had any sense of individuality like she did before they re-emerged. They might just be trying to make her into one character so they don't have to deal with East and Faze. But I thought it was just weird that East didn't do anything or say anything about potentially trying to kill her father, which she earlier showed that she cared about. It's just like she accepted her role that she was evil. Anyway, with Mr. Overused Cliche, he once again wipes the floor with Shatter Squad, which I'll get into here soon, and then proceeds to meet with this guy. The Black Lotus. Oh, that's somehow more ridiculous than Santa. Who wants Zero to prove that he's worthy of the ultimate power? So now he's got a power suit upgrade. That's pretty much all that happens with Zero's side of the story. Now here's what I was fearing a few episodes back, which definitely has come to fruition. Earlier, when Zero dominated Shatter Squad, I thought it showed a great starting point for the characters to progress. They're not a great team, Viper Squad is better, they're good individually, but they need to figure out how to work cohesively. And then episodes began passing by and they didn't train at all. In fact, no training was done. Instead, a speech was given, which made everyone feel like we can do it. And then this episode came along, and it had Carolina saying, "Starting to look like a real team." Excuse me, what? This was like the worst and really only thing they could have fucked up in regards to Shatter Squad as a whole. It's just, oh, now they can win. But it's weirder because even in this episode, and despite saying that, they still proceeded to work and act individually, not working together, again getting their asses kicked. So it's like, are you trying to say that they've advanced as a team, or are they still where they began? Because I have a sneaking suspicion they're going to win against an even more powerful Zero who they haven't even hit once. Now that's what I call plot armor. This season's about to end and I still don't know how I feel about it. I can't tell if I'm actually liking all the new stuff that they're doing or if it's just a swing and a miss. It's not missing all the swings that it takes, but at the very most, it's pretty much even and it's hard for me to pin down. Like I said, this episode was mainly just action with very minor things sprinkled in, so it was hard to speak about much. But anyway, those were my thoughts. What did you guys think of the episode? What do you think will happen? Anything and everything, be sure to let me know in the comments below, and until next time, I'll see you in the next video.